Let me start recording. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Good morning, friends. I am B N Venkataraman, the inventor of Inflapro, the calculation of inflation protected return on investment. Today we will discuss the topic on retirement planning, with details of why to plan, how to plan, where to invest, how much to withdraw, common mistakes in planning, and also last but not least, suggestion to government authorities mulling about guaranteed pension in lieu of old pension scheme, new pension scheme, etc. Let us move on to the essay. The link for this write-up is given in the description box. Let us now get started. Let us start with why to plan for retirement. To maintain the standard of living, fighting the inflation from time to time. To be prepared for longer life as the average expected life increases with advancement of medical facilities. To leave a fortune at the end of one's life. To fulfill the requirement goal, that is all the above. Next heading is how to plan for retirement. Plan a systematic investment by one or more options that we will be discussing shortly. The IRR, the internal rate of return in an Excel term, during the corporate generation period be comfortably higher than the rate of inflation. Say the notional interest is around 11% as against 6% inflation, clearly a 5% above the inflation rate. Where to invest during the corporate generation period or the service period? There are PPF, EPF, NPS, that is Public Provident Fund, Employees Provident Fund, National Pension Scheme, and other mandatory items. The NPS Tier 2. Mutual funds like ICICI Gift, Guaranteed Income for Tomorrow, then LIC's Deferred Pension Plan and UPI, ULIP scheme, etc., Unit Linked Insurance Plan, etc. The PPF, EPF, NPS all are capable of giving return of the order of 8.25% only. All other schemes, including the above NPS Tier 2 account and other schemes, are capable of generating around 12% return. But one should consider a long withdrawal period of around 25 years of retired life. During this post-retirement period, the return in these are around 6.25% only, which after allowing for inflation gives a not, which is overlooked by the majority of the people. The remedy is to invest in mutual fund and stock market, anticipating around 12% return. During corporate generation period, my suggestion would be to go in for active mutual funds rather than passive low-cost index funds. The mutual funds that one can rely upon to generate 11% return. To name a few, we have blue chip funds, large cap funds, mid cap funds, to a little extent in small cap funds, multi-allocator funds, flexi-cap funds, index funds. Now next heading is how to invest post a retirement period. During the post-retirement period, continue or hold the investment in a mutual fund stocks during this post-retirement period. Aim for 11% return and continue the investment in index or other conservative funds. Withdraw only about 5% of fund value per annum from the growth. In order to be more conservative, during post-retirement period, invest in options like senior citizen savings schemes, Prime Minister Bnvenkataraman schemes also. Invest in passive, low-cost index funds. Here again, they invest wisely such that the overall gain IRR or the GSCR or CAGR is around 11% during the post-retirement period also. Next heading is systematic withdrawal 5% during the retirement life. Take an example of corpus fund. Take an example of corpus fund generation of rupees 4.82 crores. This corpus would be able to generate around 11% return, say rupees 4,42,000 rupees per month. But maintain a discipline to utilize only 5% of the corpus fund, that is per annum. That is 2,01,000 rupees per month only, allowing the remaining to grow towards fortune to survival or withdrawal during the later period. Some ICICI Prudential mutual fund schemes provide for systematic withdrawals in percentage of fund values, say 5% per annum, instead of a fixed amount systematic withdrawal fund for years, SWP for years. If the percentage fund value withdrawals are not provided by mutual fund schemes, one can always calculate the 5% divided by 12 months per this monthly installment at the beginning of every year and execute systematic withdrawal plan SWP for the fixed amount for 12 months of that year. Assume the fund value of rupees 4.82 crore in first year, then withdraw only 2,01,000 rupees into 12 for the first year. The fund value during the next year may be around 5.11 crore rupees, and corresponding withdrawal for second year would be 2,13,000 rupees. That is, we increase from 2,01,000 rupees to 2,13,000 rupees, about 12,000 rupees more in the second year for 12 months. You can execute an SWP at the beginning of that year and so on. If you are more skillful, you can withdraw less or more periodically, gauging the market trend, whether it dips or rallies. Gross estimate of corpus fund for retirement. Let us go to the top of this page in explaining about gross requirement and edit the input as per your choice and find out the resulting corpus fund required. This is only a gross estimation. Let us go to the top of it. Yeah. Here is the calculator. This is my simple calculator to calculate gross corpus, retirement corpus fund calculator. Consider a role model of a couple living retired life. Take myself as an example, living at 35,000 rupees per month. I will be telling you about the 35,000 rupees for last 2 years. Now presently it is more. We can change it always, change the parameters and set the results. For time being I am giving as a default. For default in this page is 35,000 rupees per month, and then current age, that is the age of the entrant who is planning to retire, planning for the retirement, and the start of service itself be around 30 years. Retirement age, let us take 60% is the default. Life expectancy, the default I have provided is 85 years age. The actual return after allowing for inflation, let us say 5%. Inflation we consider as 6%. In this case, pension at age 60 also to 2,01,000 rupees. The corpus at the age of 60 is 4 crore 82 lakhs. And result corpus to be generated is 4.82 crore. We can modify it. Say, let us take, you are starting with the age of 46 for the same type of property, then it is, you require only 79,000 rupees because it is only 14 years you are left out. With 14 years ahead, the current value of 35,000 rupees would be 79,000 rupees and so on. You can play around as such. I am giving the link in the description box. Now let us continue our essay. Now, the common mistakes one does in planning for retirement. The mistakes are not start planning for retirement from day one of your employment. Number 2, under the impression that government schemes are mandatory ones such as PPF, EPF, NPS would suffice the retirement plan. In fact, such schemes only generate around 50% of your corpus requirement. One should plan wisely for generating at least 11% return throughout. PPF, EPF, NPS, etc. they are all giving only 8.25% in return, and the investment amount is also a little low, only 10%. You have to escalate, you have to increase it to at least 20% of your salary. Now, third point is not considering inflation and rely on calculations of fixed amount investment pattern, as only such schemes are existing in the market. But one should think beyond and start investing about 20% of the salary, which is also increasing. This way, when salary increases, saving also increases. Number 4, being guided by insurance agents, mutual fund distributors, resulting in fixed, static, systematic investment plans, SIP investments in lower return schemes without doing one's own research. Not planning adequately for other goals such as children education, marriage, and eventually pinching on the retirement corpus and suffering later during the retired life. Number 6 is health considerations and old age complications being overlooked. To protect or how to overcome this objective is beyond my scope, as I have not saved anything in this front. Consult a consultant on health insurance providers and wake up to the wake up at the early age, say at the age of 30 itself, my medical bill is approximately rupees 6,000 rupees per month, out of the present 43,000 rupees total expenses per month. During the age of 74, as of today, the March 12, 2023, my sons are footing the bill. Now, another important topic is about my calculator. This is SIIP and SIWP calculator combined. It's a combo. That is Inflapro SIP. SIP, you know, it is systematic investment plan. I am coining the word SIIP for systematic Inflapro investment plan and systematic Inflapro withdrawal plan. For the sample default calculation of this refers to my detail, not this gross calculator, but more accurate combo calculator, more accurate calculator. It's a combo plan. Both RD as well as pension integrator. For the sample default calculation of 30-year entrant, aiming for 35,000 rupees per month of current value for retirement, one should require an SIIP of 9,600 rupees per month starting and ending SIP at age 59 would be 52,000 rupees. The corpus at retirement age at age of 60 would be 4.63 crores. Under a gross estimate, we estimated to 4.82, but actual case, it is with this actual case it can be lesser corpus fund. The starting annuity, that is SIWP start, is 201,000 rupees. That is starting annuity or retirement withdrawal. The ending annuity at the age of 85, the life expectancy, life at the at this, as this is 85, the life expectancy period is 8.14 lakh crore. Sorry, 8.14 lakh per month. The ending annuity comes to 8.14 lakh. Starting inflation, starting SIWP, starting pension was 2,01,000 rupees. Ending pension is now at the age of 65 is 8.14 lakh. The fortune to survivor at the age of 85 is 20.66 crore. Let us move on to a combo plan calculator. Here is a combo plan calculator. Some default values are already filled in. We have got an option to fill up desired pension per month at the current level or the corpus of retired fund, any one of these two. Let us take this desired pension per month at the current level. It is a 30,000. That is, you have to consider a role model of person of your status living in the retired life. Then other options are there. For the time being, keep all this as a default. The rate of interest is 11% before retirement, and rate of return after retirement also we continue at the same 11%. Current age 30 of the person, 30 of the entrant is planning for retirement at age 60. Expected life or maturity is at 85 years and so on. I'll explain about this auto on later on in some other period. Then automatically it calculates how much to the maturity. It's based on the inflation. All others we keep the default. So frequency is monthly, post-retirement frequency also monthly, and we now provide for the input of inflation percentage and then submit. Now inflation percentage I am considering 6% at the age of 30. We have got a provision for varying inflation percentage, but I am leaving it blank. Blank inflation means ditto from the previous year. 1 year I filled up and simply fill up the number 6 for 6% or 10 for 10% and so on. One has to be realistic and use from 0 to 10%. Submit. Now it has given the calculation, that is the investment plan start with 9,600 rupees. Let me have a round value because this decimal point 33 paisa is something irrelevant nowadays. Let us consider it as a the corpus generated is 4.63 crore. Sorry, yes, 4.63 crore. Now let us calculate a round value figure. There is a link available, round value here. It is 9,651 rupees. And next year increases, this investment also increases at the rate of 6% because we have refund we considered 6%. At the age of 59, the 30th year installment is 52,284. And in return, all these are at credit so far. Now debtor from 60th year onwards, that is 60th completion. 60th onwards, start withdrawing at the 2 lakh 1,000 rupees, 2 lakh 13,000 rupees in next year and per month and so on. And at the end of 84th year is 8 lakh 13,900, that is 8.14 lakh. And details of fund generated, how much we are investing, how much we are building up corpus, what is the payment we are receiving, and surrender value, that is the maturity value at the end of 85 years is 20.66. 20 crore 66 lakh, 20.66 crore. So on. My calculator works out the details also, how it is getting filled up with the investment of 9,651 the first year, first month, and how it is getting filled up, how it is getting built up is shown in the screen. This goes for 30 years, then after 30th year the retirement starts. Retirement first year 2 lakh 1,000 rupees, second year 2 lakh 30,000 rupees, and so on. And we can see the summary also, highlights of this compost scheme, whatever I have to make. Okay, let us see about the organized sector. So in case of organized sector, we are having either PPF, NPF, etc. at 8.25% return, and let us click for the organized sector. The organized sector you have to fill up again current value basic plus DA. Let us take this default employee contribution and equal employer contribution, that is 12% plus 12%. Employee deduction is 12%. PF interest rate is 8.25%. Let us submit and continue the other inputs. See, all are we taking same default, submit it. Now again it's a already rounded figure. Now that means earlier we started with investment of 9,600 rupees. Now we have given around 8,400 rupees per month at the start of the time for the PF fund generation. That 8,400 rupees is at 8.25% is too less. Therefore, we have to have additional savings in mutual fund or stock market at the rate of 4,500 rupees approximately the first year, and increases so on, and about 24,000 rupees in the year. We have got two funds. One is two corpus. One is what is generated from the NPF, UPF, etc., and another one from this our savings of this 4,500 rupees. The table is given for 4,500 rupees. The corpus is total corpus 4.62 lakh crore. 4.62 crore corpus fund is for the total. We will come across how much is the say behind here. Our investment of this 4,500 rupees had got the maturity of 2.15 crore. The organizing sector PF NPS accrual is 2.48 crore. That is, this is only about 53%. This organizing sector accrual is only 53%. Whereas the other one is we have got 2.17. That is another nearly 45%. Now the closing balance is 4 crore 63 lakhs. This 4 crore 63 lakhs is invested continuously, and at the rate of it earns an interest of 11%, and we are withdrawing only 2.01, that is 5% of it. If you want to see the percentages, we can see the calculator here. Percentages during the investment period is of the rate of 1.5%, etc. If you withdraw, it is 5.24%, and it steadily increases, goes up to 21% at the time, at the evening of life at 85 years. The table giving for both before retirement and after retirement, and then there is a summary also. Whatever I told you I get summarized in this page. You can watch out, you can play around. Let me go to our essay. Now important part is suggestion for my government point in. The suggestion from me to government authorities, mulling for guaranteed pension options in lieu of old pension scheme and new pension schemes. The suggestions are: the modified scheme can be called Inflapro inflation scheme. 10% of basic to be deposited in employee pension account by the employer or government. This will earn 8.25% interest only. Employee can contribute any amount between 20% to 50% of this basic. This will earn a guaranteed return of 11% or 5% over that year's inflation. Employer contribution in Inflapro pension is not redeemable at all. That is, employer contribution is not redeemable at all. Only pension is payable from corpus generated. Number 5, the fund managers have to guarantee 11% monthly compounded or 11.57% annually compounded at the end of every 3 years. The performance may dip or grow in between. Number 6, the employee fund is redeemable redeemable to certain limitations as in the present NPS regulations. Of course, with the penalty of exit load from 1% to 3%. The exit load will be very heavy just because the plan is for a long-term process. The post-retirement period also be ensured of the same 11% guaranteed return or 5% above inflation. Policy terms, that is items 1 to 11 what are discussed now, are reviewable every 10 years for the next 50 years perspective. Now, I will be just showing the screen of my calculator and leave users to play around with it. The link is given in the description box below. I will be too glad to demonstrate the web calculator, which already been done while discussing in our previous calculator portion. There are two calculators. One calculator is gross requirement, which does not give elaborate calculations. The another one is more accurate one, and that is a combo plan calculator, investment as well as withdrawal plan. Now, 11. I am 74 years of age, 1948 born, weak and fragile, having survived 3 heart attacks, yet willing to give demonstration of the calculator. Because of the inflation factor, the figures in lakhs and crores of return and growth are just equivalent to current expenses considered for retired life. That is to say 35,000 rupees per month of the current value, and growth is 20 crore after 55 years, from 30 years to 85 years. That is, after 55 years, there is a fund growth apart from the pension, and is 20 crore, 20.7 crore, is just equivalent to rupees 8 lakhs of the current value. This 8 lakhs of today's value will be just sufficient for honorable anti-ST, that is funeral services, for a couple as per South Indian Brahmin customs, leave alone the building a fortune for the survivor. Looking forward for a patient hearing. Thanks for watching. Let me close this video. Thanks for watching once again. Let me stop recording.